Welcome to our casa, and today we're going to be making SPEZZATINO. Because in Italy, when you make a beef stew, that's what they call it.
Yeah, spezzatino, spezzare, to break.
To break.
Because the meat is chopped, basically.
We're going to serve it with some whipped potatoes.
Whipped potatoes?
It's like a hybrid of the mashed potato and what you have in Italy, the puree. Which is literally just like, almost like a milk consistency, yeah. But it's delicious. So, not as structured as a mashed potato, but not as liquidy as a puree.
So, we're gonna eat probably in 2 days from now, because this takes a long time and it's full of ingredients. You're gonna do some mushroom also, right?
Some mushrooms at the end. We're going to be using, of course, check wrist. It's from the shoulder of the cow, so it's a little bit more, not as tender as a center cut of meat, but you kind of want to get that meat. You want to make sure it has that nice marbleization because it's going to add so much more flavor. And we're also going to be using an Italian favorite, guanciale. Now, if you can't find guanciale, more than welcome to use like a thick cut bacon or pancetta. I like to use guanciale because it's
the best.
Well, it is the best. It is from a different part of the pig. It's from the cheek of the pig, and it's also has a deeper flavor.
Sofritto?
Sofritto, fresh herbs, of course, red wine, lots and lots of red wine, full-bodied red beef stock, tomato paste, and let's get started because we're going to be cooking for a little while today. And this is the newest member of our family.
Showing off our new baby.
This is Alexis.
Her name is Alexis.
Her name's Alexis.
Okay.
We've been binge watching Schitt's Creek. Okay.
Best show ever.
In a large Dutch oven, it's about 6.5 quart. I'm gonna put our flame to about medium high and add just a little bit of olive oil. Now we're going to add our sliced up guanciale. I'm just using only 4 ounces here. Like I said before, it's just to give it some flavor. Let some of that fat liquefy in the pan. Just a little browning here. Once it's getting nice and crispy, we're gonna take that out, put it aside. We're gonna keep that flame up and we're gonna add our first little bit of beef here. We're gonna have to do this in batches because we don't wanna crowd the pan. Otherwise it won't brown. Okay, give them a flip. Now we're gonna take them out, put them on your plate. And browning the meat isn't just for that beautiful flavor it gives it, it's also sealing it. So it's keeping those beautiful juices intact after a long cooking process. I'm gonna keep all of those oils in the pan and I'm just gonna add a little splash of red wine. And taking my wooden spoon, just gonna scrape the bottom of the pan.
With the glaze, that's good.
Yeah, we just wanted to glaze the bottom of the pan. Now let's add our 1 diced up onion, 2 celery, diced up, a little swirl. I'm gonna add 2 cloves of garlic that I just smashed down. I also have 2 carrots that I gave about 1/4 inch slice. All right, after a few minutes of cooking, I'm gonna make a little room in the center there. And I'm gonna add 2 tablespoons of tomato paste. Give that a little mix. We just wanna cook that tomato paste down a bit. Just give it a little caramelization, really bring out the flavor. Now we're gonna add back in that guanciale and our beautiful meat with all of its juices off that pan or off that plate. Now I'm gonna add a few spoonfuls of all-purpose flour. This is really gonna thicken everything up. About 2 hefty spoonfuls. Give that a nice stir. Now we're gonna add 2.5 cups of red, full-bodied wine. Yeah, it's a lot of wine. It's about 3/4 bottle, but this is we're gonna let that cook over that high flame. Let it cook down. And of course, if you have a little leftover of that cooking wine, why not treat yourself? What kind of wine is this, Nuccio?
It's a blend, Merlot Sangiovese Sagrantino.
Ching ching. After about 10 minutes, you can really see that sauce thickening up and reduce down a bit. The wine smell's not gonna be as pungent. We're gonna add a little seasoning here. Some salt and fresh cracked black pepper. And we're gonna top it off with 2.5 cups of beef stock. Beautiful. Gonna add a bunch of fresh thyme, and I tied it together so it's easier to retrieve later. And 2 fresh bay leaves. We're just gonna wait to bring this up to a gentle simmer. While we wait for that, let's preheat the oven. We're gonna preheat our oven to 350.
Good talk.
Okay, let's put her in. Right in the center of your oven. See you later. We're at the half-hour mark. Our potatoes are getting nice and tender. In a small saucepan over here, I'm gonna add 3/4 cup of whole milk. I crushed up 2 garlic cloves, put that in there, and just a few sprigs of thyme. And I'm just going to put it over heat, a very low heat. I just wanna warm the milk so it's not super cold going into the hot potatoes. And that garlic and thyme will just give a little subtle hint of flavor. Also, I'm gonna check on our beautiful beef stew. Let's take it out carefully. Woo! Oh yeah, look at the beauty. Look at that. It looks beautiful. And just for the last half hour, I'm gonna put it back in without the lid, I really want that sauce to become even thicker and reduce a little bit more. See it in a little bit now. All right, give your potato a little test. Perfect, nice and fork tender. And back on our milk here, you really don't want to bring it up to a boil at all. It's just gonna get a little bubbly around. You can see. We're just warming it, so that's perfect. We're gonna take it off the heat. In a large mixing bowl, I'm just gonna add those boiled potatoes. I have 3 tablespoons of unsalted butter that I just cut up in little smaller pieces using a masher. You can mash them down. I'm also gonna add just a spoonful of sour cream for a little tanginess. Season with a pinch of salt. Maybe 2 little pinches there. Now I'm gonna take that warmed milk, pour it over. Start with about half of it at a time. Now the whipped part. Go in. Once that's incorporated, add that other half of the milk. And whip. Just like a little spoonful of starchy dairy cloud. Oh my gosh, it's like light and super heavy at the same time. For our last ingredient, mushrooms. And we are going to saute them separately. Yes, of course, you can throw them into your stew, raw as is if you'd like, but we think that this gives it a little something extra, just more flavor and the way it should be. In a large saute pan, we're gonna put it over medium-high heat, add 1 tablespoon of butter and some olive oil. Once all your butter is melted and it starts to bubble up, we're gonna add our baby Bella mushrooms. I have about 10 ounces and I have quartered them. And after a few minutes of just letting them cook, you can start to see that they're releasing their own little liquids. Give them a little toss. The most exciting part. Time to take her out. Okay. Oh yeah. All right. Let's take out our bay leaves and our bundle of thyme. Now we're gonna add those nicely browned mushrooms straight in. Give her a stir.
Okay, and after 14 and a half hours,
Don't think we forgot about the most important. The vino.
yeah, it's time to indulge with a nice ruche.
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 Ruche. Where's Ruche from?
Ruche is from Piedmont.
You know it's my favorite.
That's Piemontese. It's supposed to be spicy, ruby red.
Sounds like it will be good for this hearty dish.
Super young, 2019. Yeah.
What year are we on now? Grazie. Ruche.
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 Ruche. Ruche. Cheers. Oh, it's super spicy.
Salivating.
Salivating eating.
This is,
Ooh,
look, it's so tender.
Yeah.
It just breaks.
it completely breaks
Oh,
apart.
God.
Oh yeah.
Are you joking?
Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me right now?
Look at this meat.
It's so tender.
It's just melt.
It melts in your mouth. A hearty dish, but when you have a bite of the meat that's so tender and the potatoes that are so soft, like so light, it's crazy.
Oh my God, these mushrooms. You are joking.
And we're gonna eat this all weekend. Oh my gosh, look at that meat. Oh man.
That's a piece of guanciale.
You want some?
Yeah.
Here you go. Take half. How is that? I've been craving this so much. This is perfect. Exactly what I wanted. You okay? Are you gonna be okay?
Incredible.
He moved on to my plate now. Excuse him, Mom.
Let me go. Let me take my wine.
Are you leaving me?
Yes, I'm with you. Ciao.
Oh man.
Absolutely.
Unbelievable. That's amore.